What's up, everyone? Welcome back. Alright, so I know earlier in this review of mine, going over how 2021 has gone for me personally, I know I talked a little bit about my dad's, personal health ailments, getting in that motorcycle accident and whatever, and that kind of fucked things up for me, too. So I talked about his medical ailments, so now it's time for me to get to talk about my medical ailments, which I've had a lot of this year, unfortunately. Actually, ironically, none of them COVID-related. So I did have a chronic cough for a while. It was not COVID. I had that confirmed by my doctor that it was not COVID. But I had this chronic cough, and for the longest fucking time, I couldn't figure out what the hell was causing it. I think I've kind of got it pinpointed now as to what the main cause of it is. There could be several factors, including allergies, but I think I've got the main cause figured out.
Nice spare.
But regardless, I'd been dealing with the chronic cough for a while, and for the life of me, I couldn't figure it out. So I'd just been coughing and coughing and coughing and coughing and coughing. And finally, one night, when I was coming home from work, right? Not necessarily coming home. So I got into my car, right, after work. I started up my car, and I was adjusting the radio and shit before I took off. I coughed, and then I heard something snap and felt an extremely sharp pain in, the lower, left part of my chest, I guess you'd say? A little bit lower than the chest area, more towards the stomach area, I suppose. And it hurt bad. To move, was a task. It hurt very badly. So, I still drove myself home and shit. Just thinking, okay, maybe I just pulled a muscle or something. That was my initial thought. Maybe I just pulled a muscle really badly or something. Because that shit hurt like hell. At the time, I had no idea what I had done. So I got home. I managed to kind of get myself home or whatever. And I,
Nice throw.
I was going about my business kind of just very slowly, very carefully, because it really hurt if I move in specific ways. And so then, I went to bed or whatever. Next morning, I wake up still in a lot of pain. And so, I'm going about my business just being like, okay, I'll just try to tough it out. Maybe, again, I probably just pulled a muscle really badly or sprained something or whatever when I coughed.
Nice spare.
And then I made the mistake of coughing. Because, again, I still had the chronic cough at this point. And I was trying to hold it in the previous night, So I made the mistake of coughing. And it hurt my lower left side to cough so bad that it literally brought me to my knees and brought me to tears because the pain was so fucking bad. And usually I have a pretty good pain threshold. I'm not the toughest son of a bitch out there, but I have a pretty decent pain threshold typically. And so for that to, hurt me as bad as it did, I knew right then and there, I'm like, this is not right. This is enough pain to literally drop me to the floor. This is not right. It hurt so bad even just to move. So when my dad got back home, I'm like, dude, I need to go to the fucking hospital or something. I'm like, this shit's fucked up. So he drove me to the immediate care center, not the emergency room or anything, but the immediate care center. They took some x-rays. Wow, what the fuck? But anyway, they took some x-rays of my chest and whatnot, and it turned out that I had fractured my ribs. A couple of my ribs on my left side. And I'm like, just from coughing? Because I didn't do anything weird, I was, I couldn't think of any possible way that I had injured them or anything.
Nice spare.
So literally just somehow just from coughing, with that chronic cough, somehow I managed to fracture my ribs on my left side. And I'm like, how the fuck did I manage to do that, So luckily, they prescribed me some pain pills and whatnot. And so that helped a lot. I was able to kind of get through it a little bit. Not 100%, but, you know, it at least helped. And I was able to kind of get through it. But, yeah, it was rough. I mean, just fucking rough. And so, yeah, I don't know. It was a rough fucking experience. It was very, extremely difficult to move for the first couple of days. And for the first couple of days, I literally didn't cough at all, or tried really hard not to, because I was literally scared to cough because I knew it would put me in so much pain. You know, I was terrified to cough. It hurt so bad when it initially happened that day, you know, the day after the initial thing. When I coughed, the pain was so bad that it actually scared the shit out of me. Like, there are very few times I've ever been genuinely terrified in my life of anything. That was one of those times when I was genuinely terrified. Like, I had no idea what the fuck was going on. You know, exactly. I just knew that my side hurt really fucking bad. Wow, that was shit. I just knew that my side hurt really bad and something was wrong. But the pain was so fucking bad that it actually terrified me. So, it was just overall a very rough experience. And then I spent a lot of time afterwards trying to figure out what was causing this chronic cough. For a while, my doctor just gave me hydrocodone, which is a cough suppressant. So there was that at least, but yeah, it was a rough fucking experience. I mean, I literally had to sleep on the couch. I couldn't sleep in my bed. I had to sleep somewhat propped up because it hurt too much to lay down on a flat surface. Because it was extremely difficult to get back up after I had laid down on a flat surface. Plus, it just hurt like hell. You know, it's funny. You know, ribs are one of those things you don't think about too much until you actually break them. But you don't really realize how much you use your ribs. Because you actually use your ribs a lot. But you kind of don't realize that until you break them. And, you know, you try to move around and you're like, ooh, shit, that hurts. So, yeah.
Nice throw.
That was one of the roughest things I've had to deal with in recent memory. I mean, that was tough. And the recovery from that has taken a long time. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm still... Here I am sitting here, like, months after that injury. Like, months after that injury. And I still have issues with it sometimes. Like, every once in a while, like, my left side will just start hurting a little bit. Like, not badly, but, you know, it'll start hurting, and I'll be like, oof. You know? Even still, it bothers me a bit. That's how bad rib injuries are. They take a long fucking time to heal. It's a lot worse, too, because you can't exactly put a cast on your ribs, you know? So you're kind of fucked on that deal. There's not really much you can do. It's just, you know, the doctor's like, have some pain pills and relax, you know? Take it easy. Don't do anything stupid. That's basically all they do for you. But yeah, I remember I had to... And I was afraid, too, because I ended up missing 6 days of work. So 6 days after I fractured my ribs, I went back to work. Not the smartest thing I've ever done. But one of my friends, actually the same friend that I went to Rockfest with, his girlfriend actually was in the hospital on the day that I wanted to go back to work, which was because I wanted to go back to work. That was the reason why. He wanted to be with her in the hospital because she had like an appendix burst or whatever, and I'm like, oh shit. That probably hurts like hell, you know? Probably hurts a lot worse than my, you know, fucking fractured ribs do at the moment. So I'm like, I begged and pleaded with the management staff to let me come back to work, even without a doctor's note or whatever. And I know they were a bit apprehensive about it, but I'm like, listen, put certain precautions in place. Let me have like a chair up front or whatever. I'm like, I can still do at least some parts of my job. You know, it's important to my friend that he's, you know, that he's there for his girlfriend, you know, in the hospital. So therefore, it's important to me. That's just the kind of friend that I am, you know. I'm like, if it's important to my friends, then it's important to me. So I put myself through hell going back to work only 6 days after fracturing my ribs. I put myself through fucking hell, but I managed to pull through, and I was able to pull it off. And I told some of my coworkers straight up, I'm like, I came back to work 6 days after fracturing my ribs. I don't want to hear any pussy-ass excuses for any of you motherfuckers missing a shift. Oh, my tummy hurts a little bit. Bitch, I got broken fucking ribs, okay? I don't want to hear it. You know? So, yeah, it was rough, but it was, you know, it was worth it in the end, in my opinion. Plus, again, I didn't want to miss out on making money either, because I'm at a point in my life where I need to be making as much money as I can, as quickly as I can, in order to accomplish my goals. So, yeah. But yeah, that was a hard thing to have to deal with, you know, and hard thing to have to come back from. I can only imagine my dad, you know, with his like 5 broken ribs. His ribs weren't even fractured; they were straight up broken. You know, but that's a hard thing to bounce back from. Rib injuries; those are rough. I mean, just fucking rough. So, yeah, shit's no fucking joke. I mean, no fucking joke at all. Just fucking painful as fuck. So, yeah, but luckily, I mean, I'm doing a lot better now. I'm pretty much, I would say, like 95% good to go. But every once in a fucking while, that left side will still hurt me. Every once in a while. Even still. So, I don't know if that's something that'll, like, ever 100% be better again. But either way, I mean, I'm mostly good to go, you know. It's not that big of a deal. So, just a slight nuisance from time to time. But nothing I can't deal with, so, yeah. Alright, well, either way, guys, that will do it for that one. So stay tuned for the next round as we discuss more of 2021 and how this year has gone for my personal life and my YouTube channel and other shit. Probably be talking a bit about my workplace next time, so, yeah. Either way, that will do it for that one, so stay tuned, and until next time, peace out.